What is going on, you guys? Enrique here, back with another video for you guys, and today we are finally putting on the 30-inch tires and the 2-inch lift on the 2015 Kawasaki Teryx 800. So let's get to it. Alright, you guys, first step we're going to do is we're going to jack it up, and we are going to take off both the front tires. And for the front, it is very easy and basic. All you have to do is remove this bolt, and you put the new 2-inch lift right here, and that's pretty much it. And then we're going to put the tires. I'm just going to make sure that the spacers I have on are good to go and tighten up all the lug nuts. If we go over here, this is going to be the 2-inch lift kit that we purchased on eBay. I believe it was, I think, total 30 bucks without with tax, I mean. And I'm going to take a look here real quick and see what brand it is, because I don't even remember what brand it was. Let's see. But yeah, it's pretty basic. Has these two are the fronts, these two are the rears, the bigger ones, and we're gonna have to drill a hole on the rear. The rears are gonna be a little bit more complicated. Looks like it does not tell me what brand these things are. They are probably some off-brand name. It's alright. I really don't care as long as you have good reviews. So it is a no brand, so it doesn't look like there is a brand name for this. Here's the picture, all the nuts and bolts, spacers and everything. Pretty much that's all we got. Paid 30 bucks for it. eBay. I think the name of the company was Talon Sports or something like that. Oh, brand is a USA-Biker. I doubt that's the brand. The person I got it from, the seller, was Talon Billets, so that's who it is. So let's go ahead and get started. Pretty much the fronts, like how I said, pretty basic. We're gonna just put these right here, and then the new shock mount is gonna go at the top, and the bottom is gonna go right here. So those are pretty basic. First of all, we're gonna probably remove the tires, put these on, and then do the 30-inch rims. So let's get to that. Alright, you guys, here is the before and the after. Can't get a really good picture right now, but that's about what it's gonna look like. These things look pretty huge. So there's the 2-inch, and we have enough space between the tie rod here and the wheel is all good with the spacers. I just had to fix the spacers. Honestly, you guys, that side probably took me about, I want to say, like maybe 20 minutes. But that is because, too, I had to fix the spacers. I have to make sure that's tight, too. But yeah, now we're on to this side, so you guys can see the difference. This side's on the ground. This side's definitely like a good 3-4 inches out. Still, obviously I have the jack under it, but what I'm trying to say is, you know, it's not leveled. Clearly you could see there's a huge difference. So let's go ahead and do this one, and I'll walk you guys through it. Alright, you guys, first things first. Getting this bad boy off. I'll probably use this one as a spare, even though it's smaller, but there's that. Yeah, see, this spacer was super loose. Alright, that should be good. Now let's go ahead and take off this. And this one you won't need anymore. Just wiggle it out, let it drop. Alright, so there's no left and right for this one. Pretty much, there's no left and right for this. Pretty much all the same. So it's going to go like this. And you're going to put the bolt in right here. The kit I have comes with 2 bolts. Comes with 2 of these nuts with blue thread locker on it. I'm not sure what it's called. I forgot when it's on the edge there. And then there's a smaller spacer. The spacer is going to go right here to mimic the shock. And you're going to put the bolt through, 1 washer, and then 1 nut. And that's that. But basically this, you can just pull it a little bit up. You want to make sure everything's aligned first before obviously tightening it up. Is spinning. It's not a good idea to use a crescent wrench. Definitely recommend using the actual wrench. That's good. Loosen it up just a little bit. Alright, so that's it, you guys. That's how it's supposed to look. 2 bolts, 2 washers, 2 nuts, spacers right in here. Maybe I should tighten it just a little bit more. And now I'm going to put on the wheel, make sure that's all good. Show you guys what it looks like after for the front. Alright, you guys. Front is all done. Even with the spacers, it kind of, even still with the lift, it kind of tucks in the wheels a little bit more than what they were before. But just like probably an inch still out. So my main concern was that they weren't going to fit. That's what it's still looking like here. So the clearance is pretty terrible. So we're going to try and see if it hits on anything. Yep, buddy. It's hitting. The damage is done. There's no going back. Should have went with the 29s, but this was what I found. Could still find some different wheels though, even with the lift. I actually do have some other ones I found for $100, but I think they're just in 27 inch. I think stock this thing has some 26s, so I think technically it's still an upgrade, but set of rims also, because these ones I believe have the 5-inch back spacing, so technically they're in more, versus the ones that it had are still just slightly out 2 more inches. Because basically after putting the spacers on these wheels, it's kind of like if it had a stock back spacing. That's why they're not too out, but they're far enough to where they're not going to hit the tie rod and they're not going to hit the back. But with the stock, I think it's 4-3 back spacing or something like that, it would probably work. So I think I might get some different wheels. So the answer is really yes and no for the tires. 30 inches, depending on what rims you ride. If you have spacers, if you have the 2-inch lift, obviously that's going to help. Even if you have just the 2-inch lift with probably the 4-3 back spacing on the regular rims, if they're 14s with some 30s, I think that's definitely doable to where it really won't affect it. But even right now, it's like it has like a maybe like not even 1/4 of an inch to where it's about to hit. But this is full turn. You're not gonna go full turn. You know what I mean? You will, but at least you would know. Hey, I can't go really full turn because it might rub. My truck's the same way. I'm riding 33 by 12.5s on 20s with some 20 by 12-inch rims, and they do rub a little bit on the liner, but it is drivable. You know what I mean? But let's go ahead and work on the other side, and I'll show you guys how that one looks after I'm done. Alright? Alright, this side is all fixed now, you guys. We were having problems with this piece. It's like a little shield that goes on the bottom, the very bottom of the frame. And when I was hitting this, some of the rivets broke, so I ended up having to put a screw for right now, just so this plate goes attached all the way to the back. But it's like barely rubbing too, just like the left side or the right side. So right now we are all good to go. Definitely looks a little beefier compared to that back tire. But now we're going to work on the back and get that all done so we can get working on that. Alright, you guys, here we are back with the back, and we are going to do this side now. So I know this one's going to be a little bit tricky since I have to drill a hole right here. I was just trying to figure out the spacers. I just wanted to make sure these were on there nice and tight. And right now we're going to loosen up the shock, and it should drop down just a little bit so we could see where we need to drill, because this is supposed to be going like this right here, and then the bottom hole is supposed to be somewhere right here, and we need to drill through, which I think is going to be kind of hard just because the axle is going to be in the way. So that's kind of shitty, but we're going to figure it out, you guys. We're going to try and see what we could do here. Alright, you guys, so this is what it's supposed to look like here. It's supposed to be this is the one we're supposed to drill out. This is the original hole, and then this is the one for the shock. Only thing is to drill out the hole. But on this side, you can't really see it on the camera, but basically the axle is definitely in the way. But we are going to go ahead and try to drill it out now. I think I have to pretty much put on the rest of the shock. Well, pretty much this. I have to put it on, and then we can kind of see where we're supposed to be at, so we could put that on. So I'm going to put the upper bolt and the second bolt, and then we're going to figure out how to drill out this one. I had to change out my battery, but it's going. Oh yeah, definitely making room. I'm gonna try and go straight through. Alright, you guys, sorry the camera died, but we did make way through the back and through the back and the front side. I am going to go over it with a bigger drill bit. Definitely though, I don't know a whole lot about drill bits. I'm sure you guys know that. but I remember getting this one from, I think, the body shop I used to work at, and they're used to drill out steel, so obviously this was a better idea. But I'm going to go ahead and just drill it out with the bigger bit now that I have a opening, and it should be a little bit easier, and I'll show you guys what it looks like when it's all finished. So this is the final result on this side so far. Trying to see, make sure they're matched up. But yeah, so it's kind of crappy, to be honest, you guys, because the bolt, I had to put it right here facing that way. The second one I also put facing that way, but the bottom one I had to put facing this way. And look how close it is to the axle. I mean, there's a good like ½ an inch, but that's still pretty damn close. And there's like no way to, you know, get access to get like good space. You could probably take the control arm off, like undo it on top, or maybe even from here, just so you can move it up, which I think that would probably have been the best thing to do. But I was able to do it like this. Then also the spacers that go in between, there's one that goes on the bottom, one that goes on the middle one. I used a magnet to kind of have them where I wanted them to be, and then slid the bolt through so it wouldn't be falling in there, because it's pretty much like a little cubby in there, a little hole. But that's the finished result on this side. So we're going to put it on the wheel, we're going to check it out and see how it looks, you guys. Alright, we finally got the lift kit on, and we're getting there, you guys. Put on the doors, bed lined also the lower pieces right here, and the door handles, because they were really crappy. I also did the inside. That looks way better. The only thing I didn't do is the floor. I still have to put on the driver's door, the driver's seat to test drive it. But the lift, as you guys can see, is on. And the thing that I was most worried about was the roof being very close to the top of the garage door. Let me tell you guys, it is so close to the garage door, but it does go under it, so that's very awesome. I believe it did give it a pretty decent lift. Here, actually, I'm gonna check this out right now with you guys. Let me find my... Alright, so last time, from the center of the wheelbase to the top of the roof, it was about 76. Wow. We are at about 81 inches. So overall we gained a total of like 5.5 inches. I think it was at 75, 76 in between there. And right now it's at a little bit over 81 inches. So definitely gained a good amount. It does with the 30-inch tires and the 2-inch lift. We gained about 5.5 inches is what it looks like. So that's definitely not bad, you guys. Definitely a good way to do this. I definitely believe that the 2-inch lift is a 2-inch lift. Usually, from what I always know and what I've seen from me personally doing lifts, I've always noticed that, let's just say they say 3 inches and it's not really 3 inches. It's either a little bit less or a little bit more. I probably want to say that this one was definitely a 2-inch lift because I took the consideration of the tire width. The other ones were 26. These ones are a 30, but you got to understand that they are a little worn down. So they probably, the width of the tire, the length or whatever you want to call it, the height was about 29 inches. So it's like taking an inch off of it. Even though it's a 30-inch tire, they're a little worn. So right there, it was a gain of 3 inches, plus the lift was a gain of like 2.5. So I would say that it's pretty decent for 30 bucks. you can't really go wrong. The back end for drilling was definitely a pain in the ass, but if you have the right drill bits, definitely will make your life a whole lot easier. If you guys you have the right drill bits, it'll drill right through. Just make sure you don't have nothing too long, because it will drill through the axle, because the axle is there, the drive shaft, whatever you want to call it, different terms. Don't want you guys roasting me in the comments for using the wrong wording, but drive shaft, I've called axles. I work at a dealership. I definitely know that a lot of people from different places call them different things. So but yeah, so I had to drill this bottom hole, which wasn't that big of a deal. It's just hard to get it through the other side and make it even, because unless you take off like the lower control arm over here or the upper control arm over there, it won't make it to where you have enough space to do everything. But I mean, that's pretty much it. It comes with the nuts and bolts, and that looks good to me. I just noticed that this side looks just a tad bit up, and this one looks pretty straight. Other than that, I think they're decent where they're at. Probably just tightened it too much on the other side. And then here are the fronts. I want to say overall the lift took me, it's a couple days later, but I was working out some other things on the side by side, and then the spacers and the tires situation. I had to search for some lug nuts. But overall the lift probably took me, the front was fairly easy. The front probably took me like 30 minutes, because it's just bolted up, add a bolt, and that's it. The rear was definitely like a good hour, a little bit, maybe over an hour. So I'd say like 2.5 hours. Anybody could do it with the right tools. I didn't have the right drill bit at first, and then I found one, and that definitely helped me out. But yeah, you guys, definitely, I would say get the lift. 30 bucks, less than 30 bucks, with 30 bucks with tax. They do sell them on Amazon also. They're like $80. So I went with the eBay. I waited, I want to say like maybe like 5 days for it. Amazon, you'd probably get it in 2-3. Not a huge difference for $50, at least for me. But yeah, and then also, like I was telling you guys, we ended up finishing the bed liner, put all the plastics back together, did the front bumper, did the lower, did that undershield, the grill, fixed everything under here. That also took a long time just to get the front going. But overall, just doing the lift, if you're not gonna mess with the tires or anything, probably 2.5 hours. But we're finally getting there, you guys. The last thing I'm gonna do is put in the seat and the door, and then we are gonna test drive this bad boy. It probably won't be till tomorrow because it's already late. The only issue that I'm having is the tail lights and the headlights not working. So every time I turn on the headlight switch, it's already blown, but every time I turn on the headlight switch, it blows out the lamp fuse that's in here. So 1, 2, 3, so the third fuse that says lamp, it keeps blowing that one out. If you guys could help me out with that, greatly appreciated. I've looked for shorts, disconnected the front headlights, the tail lights, it's still doing it. Also got a new headlight switch, still the same thing. But that's about where we're at. So if you guys like this video, don't forget to smash that like button and subscribe to the channel. I definitely appreciate all the new subscribers. We're almost at 1,000. So let's keep it going. I will keep uploading videos for you guys. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Peace, y'all.